Easy is the worst shit that I know.
Like
Stay
it.
hard.
That's it.
Yeah.
Listen, man, we're gonna start with a pretty weird question.
Alright.
Do you remember? Sorry, it's gonna be French Canadian speaker to a Swedish guy.
Sure.
So
No worries.
I guess you're used to it.
Yeah.
I've got to practice it. But do you remember on tour with Behemoth, The Devil's Blood, and In Solitude? You have some memories
Sure,
of it?
of course.
Cool. That was wicked. When you played here on the May 9th or something, 2012,
Yes.
I don't know if you recall anything happening backstage, like behind the venue with Selim Lemouchi and some teenager getting his t-shirt lit on fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember
How
it
did
very
you guys feel about this? Was it some usual stuff?
I thought it was beautiful.
Oh,
like
yeah?
everything that Selim did, you know. He was a man of his word and he was a man of values. And what he did, what actually happened was this, that some guy was wearing a Devil's Blood bootleg shirt.
Yeah.
And Selim didn't like that. Selim was
Absolutely.
very particular about the designs, and he was very particular about the way of printing. He
Protective as well of his work, I guess. Also.
Yeah, I suppose you could say. Yeah, exactly. So what he did was that he took the shirt, he burned it in front of the guy,
Absolutely.
and then he went to the merch and gave him an
Yeah,
official
yeah.
shirt, which I think is like perfect. It sums up Selim, not totally, but in a pretty good way. You know, he was not a. He didn't take lightly on things, you know, and that's also why I loved him so much.
Yeah, pretty intense. I remember once you said that Selim was someone really challenging to you. If I'm right.
Yeah, but
'cause
every good friend should be a challenge, you know. Everyone, every friend or every person that you have in your life that matters to you should also challenge you. Should be able to push you further, you know. And Selim was good at that, definitely. With everything from personality to when it comes to playing guitar or being you know, die hard about your band and the way it operates and so on. He was. We made a good team there for a few years.
That's it. What's funny is that this guy behind the camera was the guy who got his shirt lit on fire.
Oh, really?
That night, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So we were just talking about this for years, and I wanted so bad to know what was others' perspective about this and how this all came up, because we were young at the time as well. We were like early teenagers, and to us it was a huge thing. We were fucked up after that. We were like, oh my god, we just go to see this guy who we kind of worship because he was such a talented guitar player, and I mean his work with the Devil's Blood is pretty insane in my opinion. And after that we were like, what's going on? How did this happen? Anyways, that was a weird story. I'm glad to talk about it with you. I'm sure you didn't.
Likewise, I always like to talk about it.
I'm sure you didn't expect anything like that to come to your mind, because it's the kind of stuff that goes forgotten, you know, like it happens.
Yeah, no,
and
I remember it clearly, but I even had a discussion with him about it afterwards.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you had one.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. That brings me to another point. I mean, we talked about the festival season and stuff. Is there any, any difference between playing in a venue, like in a closed venue in the dark, and when you can really use all that you would like to, and playing like in the big sun, heat? I mean, is it different for you? Is it just another aspect of experiencing Watain for you and for the public?
It's super different,
I guess.
But we would never do it. We would never do anything if it didn't make sense for us. You know? When we do festivals, since like 10 years back, we have in the contract with the festival that we should always play after the sun goes down. I'm a little bit curious about today because I saw it was quite an early show.
Of course, 20, man. You play around 8, I think.
Yeah, 20 to 9, I think. So maybe during sunset, we will see. Sunset is fine too. But anyway, back to your question. After having done like a lot of club touring in the start of this year, I was really looking forward to doing festivals. Now I'm really starting to hate it, and I'm really
because
looking forward to
too
going
many,
back to clubs.
or
Just it's fucking sunny and people everywhere, and
no, right?
I don't know. It's not really my thing. It can be, but not every time. You know?
True.
But I prefer right now. I would prefer cold, wet, small backstage in Poland somewhere.
Uh-huh.
We'll see.
Going back
Everyone
home.
here is so fucking happy and party minded, and I don't know. But it's nice also to come in with Watain and do a show in this kind of environment, because you're kind of like the hand grenade in the cake.
Yeah, you're kind of the black sheep right now, because actually you're the only black metal band this year.
Yeah. But that's one of the things that I enjoy mostly about festivals in general.
Oh yeah.
There's always that feeling, and I like that. It's good for the band.
Cool, man. I'm just gonna pick up other questions because I'm not really good at it actually. Yeah. We're gonna go to some more classic, typical questions about album concepts and pretty much everything around it. We really used to dig Lawless Darkness a lot. That's when we got to know you, know the band and stuff. I remember you were telling that with the album Sworn to the Death, you really... What's that?
Dark. Not death, dark.
Oh, Sworn to the Dark. Oh my god, my bad, man.
No worries.
You really got to find your identity, if I'm right, as a band or something more concrete. That's what I've pretty much read and heard. Maybe you can correct me on that.
It's nothing to correct. I mean, nothing is written in stone, and everything is re-evaluated all the time, and everything means different things depending on from what angle you look at it.
You are.
But Sworn and Lawless were definitely two extremely formative albums. Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
They were. They felt like a point of arrival in a way. They felt like a point of achievement, like a closed circle, and especially Sworn, perhaps.
Oh yeah, more than Lawless Darkness, maybe.
I mean, it depends a little bit on what we are talking about here exactly. But as far as Sworn goes, it was our third album.
Yeah.
And the number 3 is important in so many ways. I mean, in Watain specifically, but also when it comes to a totality, when it comes to giving life to something, the number 3 is extremely, well, it's basically the number of completion, right? Between 1 and 2, you only have a line. But if you add a third point, you already suddenly have the geometrical figure of the triangle. And that's when you have a totality. That's when the energy can start to stream and circulate and really start to boil within you, right? And that's what happened on Sworn, for sure. Lawless, on Lawless we had that platform to stand on, right? We had a very secure triangular platform to stand on, so we could just elevate from the ground almost when we were writing music, because we were so content.
We're grounded,
so
really. All right.
Something like that. But I mean, I still love those two albums. We play songs from all of our albums. Most of the nights we play live, but always from Swan and Lawless.
Are you planning to? Because I know the album Lawless Darkness is turning 10 years next year. Do you guys plan anything about it?
Not really.
Not
I
really.
mean, we had the 20-year anniversary of the band last year also, but
true.
you cannot celebrate. You cannot
to
celebrate every fucking anniversary. It would be too much.
I fucking wish, man. Oh shit.
But I love the ideas of. I know a lot of people are a bit against that kind of stuff, but I personally love when bands perform like an entire album on stage.
Oh man, that'd be great.
I really like that. I saw Destruction do it, and what the fuck was it more that I saw that was so good? I can't remember right now, but I love when bands do that.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely open for that. We did that once with Causes Luciferi. We did a short tour like that.
That would be great.
And I would love to do it with both. Well, actually, with any of our albums.
Oh yeah, no particular preferences. I think that's pretty much it, man. We're done.
All good.
I wish I had more time,
All good,
actually,
man.
but thank you very much.
Yes,
I
sir,
really
of course.
appreciate it, truly.